This video was brought to you in part by the supporters of the AMTV Patreon. Thank you. Hello everybody and welcome back to AMTV Radio. This is the podcast where I'm joined by a very special guest each time and we chat about whatever the hell we want to. And our special guest today, it's the architect, the creator, the designer of the poorly animated Doctor Who series, amongst many other stuff that we're going to chat about today. I am joined by Kane Unable. How you doing, man?
I'm not doing too bad. How are you, big boy? I don't know why. I don't know why I said that. That just came out. I got a little bit nervous. I was like, "Oh, give the people something already."
Mate. You say what you want. It's all chill here. It's all about chill vibes. It's all cool. Don't worry about it.
Excellent.
But yeah, I'm well, thank you. And as I said, I'm sure some people listening / watching will be aware of yourself and the work you've done. But just for anyone who might not be, just in a nutshell, do you just want to tell us a bit about yourself and what you do?
I'm not too sure what I do. Sometimes the videos just appear on the channel sometimes. I'm like, oh god. oh god, what's this? And I click it and I watch it, I go, why has that happened?
Yeah.
But no, I make well it depends really what videos I make. Sometimes I make live action stuff, sometimes I make little animations like the poorly animated stuff, sometimes I do songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do on YouTube, and on Twitter I just sometimes Photoshop stuff when I'm bored or if I want attention.
That's fair. I mean, we've all been doing a lot of that over the last 18 months, I think, as well. So it's been
I've been doing it longer than I've got no excuse. It's been going on a good hefty chunk of my life. It's a bit embarrassing at this point.
Hey, you got to do what you enjoy, though, haven't you? So no shame there, no shame at all. Well, let's delve into your channel then, which is, of course, Kane Unable on YouTube. And like I do with all my guests who have YouTube channels, I like to go back to the very first video, which some people cringe at when I say that. But I noticed with yours, the first public video I've seen, we're only going back to January 2020, I believe.
Yeah, that's when I started this channel.
Yeah.
No, not the channel. It's when I started doing YouTube properly, like putting actual effort into it. Before that, it was just short films from college that were a bit shit, so I sort of removed them, because also there was like absolute dickheads in them that I don't like,
mate.
So I don't want anyone to have to look at them.
The college short film, it's always like, when you say, right, here's your task, I remember it was always, you have all these grand ideas, and then it's like, but you're filming it on like a flip camera, or like something equally shite, and like you say, you've got that one dickhead who's just like, I'm not gonna play ball, and it's just nightmare.
To be fair, they're quite like, if I was to watch them now, I'd be like, oh god, that's awful. But there's a little bit of my current style in it, so it wasn't a waste. Film school wasn't a complete waste of money or time or emotional distress.
Good. Oh, that's me with acting school, mate. I came out with 30 grand of debt, and I keep trying to reassure myself every day, like, it was worth the money, it's worth the debt, but I'll probably never pay it off. But if anyone in the tax office is listening, please don't come after me. I need the money. But so the first video, the first public video anyway, is the 10th Doctor's regeneration in the style of Breaking Bad. Yeah,
I completely forgot about that one. I don't count that. That was me learning how to edit. That was me learning how to. That was just a little editing exercise to see if I could understand Premiere Pro. So I just made that in like 10 minutes. I've completely. Is that on my chat? I thought that was private.
Hang on, I've got it on a tab. I've got it on a tab. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's the first. It's the first public video.
No.
Yeah. Well, the one after.
I was so proud of that. I was so proud. I was like, oh yeah, brilliant. This is going viral. And I was like, this is the one. It was the first one I made. I was like, this is easy, and I posted it, and no one watched it.
It's so true, isn't it? Your first video, you like, because when you start YouTube or start properly, like, you have that first idea, and you're like, yeah, this is gonna be great. It's gonna take off. I'm gonna ascend, and then it's usually like, okay, maybe not, but.
Because that video came around because of two things. I I'd bombed a stand-up set like the night before.
Oh, right.
Like really bad. So I came home, I was like crying. I was like, I'm never doing stand-up again. And I was like, I'm gonna be the new Mr. Beast. And I had a bit of like a breakdown. And I was like, I'm gonna make so many videos. And oh god. And then I made that, and I was like, I might try stand-up again.
Yeah. Just have all the videos to start with. I'm going to be like Mr. Beast. You're like, I know, 10th Doctor Regeneration, but Breaking Bad.
Because again, I just finished Breaking Bad because I never finished it the first time round. So I had that song in my head, and I was just like singing it all the time. And I think I then watched Doctor Who, and I was just like singing it over the top of it, and I was like, people need to see this. And in my head, I was like, this is groundbreaking. No one's done. I felt like Cassette Boy. Do you know that guy who used to make like the remixes? I was like, I'm the new Cassette Boy, and it was just that fucking shit.
Oh, I love it. Well, I mean, anyone who's listening, I mean, you've got to go and check this out right now. I mean, whilst it's still there, I don't know if you're gonna like private it in the weeks to come.
No, but, I'll let the people see my Joker origin story.
Can't wipe out the origins. Like my first videos are shite. It's literally me with my Samsung Galaxy S2 with the flashlight on, pointing at my little Doctor Who DVD show. So the light's reflecting off the case. I'm like, yeah. So this is. An Unearthly Child on DVD. I'm just like, oh my god, it's so bad. But for some reason, I can't bring myself to delete it. I've got to keep it there. Like I don't know what it is. Yeah,
because this is just on this channel. I had other channels back in the day. Yeah. Like I think my first video I uploaded was like in 2010 maybe.
Oh man,
and I think it. I can't remember which came first. I think it was the RuneScape stuff. I think I did leveling up guides on RuneScape, but I only made one. I was like, oh, kill chickens till you're level 5, kill goblins till you're level. But there was no, and it just had that weird sort of stock music from the like late 2000s where it was just like dun 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 like that. And then I made and then I was just like, this isn't working. The people don't want this. So I was like, I know what they want. I know what the kids are into now. Yeah. I'm gonna make top 5 kills of the week on Call of Duty Black Ops 1. And I did that, and I actually put my voice in it, and I was just like, hi guys, it's me, Kane. Let's see the top 5 kills of the week. And like, and everyone was just like, you should stop making these. They're not good. And I was like, fair enough. So I stopped.
Oh, wow.
So I stopped.
Mate, I remember the days of the top 5 kills on any call. I saw the Modern Warfare 2 ones, and then like you say, Black Ops came in, and it was always either like a 360 no scope or like a throwing knife across the map, like that. Yeah. They were the classic number ones, but.
But mine they weren't even what I'd done. I just took them from other people, and it was like clips that already had like 10 million views, so everyone already seen them. So people were just like, we've seen these before.
You got to learn as you go.
Yeah, so then but like the Kane Unable era started with that. Because I consider the first video I did was this one about Disneyland, maybe.
Yes.
It was like something about top 10 attractions.
It says, top 10 Disney World attractions parody.
yeah. Oh God. But if you were to watch that, you'll see that you'll see the style of editing's not real. Well, it has changed, but you can see sort of like the sort of style and aesthetic and stuff start to bleed through. So that's why I like those videos. The shit. And then I did a follow up which was like about Daniel Radcliffe or something.
Yes,
where it was just like top 7 facts about Daniel Radcliffe, and they were all just lies, and I was just like lying about him. And it was something. There was something about that. I think I predicted. Do you know QAnon? I think I predicted it in that video with Daniel Radcliffe being the fighter of it. So in that, it's him who's like the Donald Trump-esque figure in that conspiracy. So I've got a feeling that some 4chaners saw that and were like, that's brilliant. So I'm gonna hold responsibility for a lot of hate crimes in America right now. No. Me and Daniel will hold our hands up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because Daniel's completely clued in, isn't he? He knows all about this. He's, fighter of QAnon. Full disclaimer, I do not know if Daniel Radcliffe is affiliated with QAnon, and so on and so forth.
Neither do I. I should also... I loved you in The Woman in Black. Another wizard stuff.
And the others, yeah, Woman in Black and something else. Do you know what I'll say, though, about Daniel Radcliffe? I really admire, because obviously child star Harry Potter and all that, and let's face it, the vast majority of child stars, when they finish whatever it is they're doing, or they become adults, they go off the rails, they lose it.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm going to make some of the most indie shit, like, what was that one? Was it called Horns? Where he's literally got giant horns.
Yeah, where he starts growing horns. And,
Yeah.
and he's just like, and everyone's like, it's the devil! And it's just Daniel Radcliffe. And I thought, when I first watched that, he's called Ig in it, like IG, but I thought he was called Egg. So I was like going around calling him Egg. And I was like, and then Egg does this, and everyone was like, what do you mean Egg? And I was like, well, the weirder things have happened, such as the fucking horns growing out of his head.
But then he did that one where he's a farting corpse with Paul Dano, didn't he?
That was good. I loved that one.
Yeah.
I didn't mind Guns Akimbo as well. I thought that it had a little bit of, I think it was lacking in some aspects, but I just like Daniel Radcliffe. I think he's a funny man. I just like looking at him.
Just like, I bet you had a field day with that meme.
He's attractive enough that I can stand looking at him. What, sorry?
I was saying, I bet you had a field. Is it Guns Akimbo where that meme came from, where he's like in the street like that?
Yeah. And he's got his little slippers on.
Yeah.
What? Why are we talking about Daniel? Oh, the video.
Yeah, so we've gone off on a big tangent.
I thought I'd derailed it then.
No. Hey, on this show, if we go on, I'm all for tangents, man. We can talk about Daniel Radcliffe all the time. But tying it in with Daniel Radcliffe, nice little segue. Some of your videos I did watch is your almost like the birth of the poorly animated series before Doctor Who is of course the Harry Potter ones you did, and you've done. Is it 3 you've done?
I've done 3 and then I stopped because I hated it. Because I was like, oh god. No, it's a really bizarre story because it's again feeding into my weird sort of Walter White-esque god complex that I sometimes, due to various mental illnesses, I just sort of activate within myself. It was like last September, so literally like last year. It might be the 1 year anniversary. But I came home from work. No, that was it. I was at work at Primark. I'm not going to say which one, just in case you all come and try to get pictures or fucking garrot me. But like, I was at work and suddenly I had this idea that I was going to recreate the Harry Potter poster, the first Harry Potter poster, with the assets from PS1 games.
Oh, I had those games, man.
So I did it, and I was just like, "Oh, that it looks really shit and stupid." I was like, "Brilliant." And then, like, I posted it that night on my main... Well, I only had one account back then. On my main Kane Unable Twitter. And then, like, overnight it got, like, 50,000 likes and stuff. And then the Lad Bible contacted me and they were like, oh, it's so good, can we interview you? But I forgot to reply, so then they ended up... And then a week later when all of the likes stopped and I was like, I'm going to get so many offers here from the BBC. And I was like, fuck off, Lad Bible. But then nothing happened. I was like, about that interview, and they're like, it's too late now. So I went viral with the poster, and then the next couple of weeks I spent trying to chase that high of getting like 50,000 likes. So I was making other like posters. So it was like the Star Wars poster, but it's made from bootlegged merch, or the Avengers poster and stuff like that. But no one cared anymore. So I was just like, I need to go back to Harry Potter, but I can't do another poster. So that's why I made the first poorly animated Harry Potter. Yeah. And that's why it's 2 minutes long, if you notice, because I did it for my Twitter audience. And I uploaded it on Twitter first. And then everyone was like... And then I got this... I didn't get 50,000 likes. I got like 500. But that was like... And I was like, oh, there we go. There's that rush, the adrenaline. I need to make the others. But then as I made the others, all the likes started going down. I was like, oh, forget it. I'm going back to... I'm doing stand-up again. It's over.
It's that hard thing, isn't it, when you do like a series of videos like that, where the first one like really, really does well, and the others like sort of still do well-ish, but it's like the numbers like if they that's it. If they drop like significantly, then it must be hard for that, like say the motivation, especially if you say you weren't like necessarily enjoying making them anyway, the Harry Potter ones at least. So yeah, I mean, are we ever gonna see the number 4?
No, well maybe, but. In my head, because it's so different from what poorly animated Doctor Who is now, and like my style. Like, I think it'd be such a jump for it to do, like, their little 2 minute fucking shit little Prisoner of Azkaban one to suddenly this sort of like 30-minute animation where there's like actual depth of fields and stuff and loads of stuff is happening. So a little. I've not told anyone this, but I am thinking of remaking them, like remaking the first one again and starting again with the same sort of skill set that I've got now and adding like songs and music and stuff like that into them. And like, so those are sort of like, I like the idea that those will be like cult classics and people just like, oh yeah, the Harry Potter one's good, but have you seen the real Harry Potter one?
Yeah,
just
the real one.
That shit. Where I also think that most of it was improv as well.
Yeah.
I remember not really writing the first one, and you can tell because I'm stuttering a lot, and that's why I didn't like it, because it felt a bit too much like Rick and Morty, and I felt very much like I was just like, this feels like the sort of improv-y style of Rick and Morty, which I like, but I don't want to copy.
Sure.
So I was just like, I'm going to do the opposite, and I'm going to do well-polished scripts and stuff.
I find even though with scripts, like sometimes, like I think I saw it in your poorly animated Who and in Harry Potter as well, I love the moments where whatever you're saying is just like tickled you to a degree that you just start laughing. Like in the first Harry Potter one, I think it's when Hermione comes in, you go, oh, so Neville's eating his toad, and then you just lose it. Like, I love that, mate. Like, because it is just, it tickles, you know. But we'll move on to the big one, the one that I think most people know, which, of course, is poorly animated Doctor Who. So, go on then, what sparked this one then? What made you sit down and think, right, I'm going to take Series 1, and I'm going to poorly animate it?
Essentially, I was trying to get a load of videos out. I was like, well, I'm not making enough videos. If I want to truly create some growth, I need to make a lot of different varied videos. So there was a time after, because that's it, on YouTube, the first video that started doing well was this song I wrote about James Acaster, and that got 10,000 views. I was like, okay, so I'm getting subscribers now, so I need to I need to provide more content. So I was like coming up with all these like small sketches, like and uploading them and stuff and whatever, people were enjoying them. But I had this idea to do it was going to be in one video. It was going to be every series of Doctor Who.
Right.
Every episode of New Who up to series 12. But I was going to describe the episodes in. No, it was up to series 10 actually. I wasn't doing 11 and 10. Or maybe I was. Oh no, I remember. I'll get to that. But it was the series 1, the episodes I were going to humorously describe in 10 words. Yeah. Then series 2, I was going to do 9 words. And as the series went on, it got lesser. Yeah. And then by series 11, it was going to be me just making sounds and like just gutter. So when it was going to be like the woman who fell to earth, I was going to be like, oh, like that and stuff. And then I was planning that, and I was starting to write it. And then I was just like, what if I animated it in the style of the Harry Potter videos?
Yeah.
And I was like, that'll take too long. And then I was just like, oh, what if I just did the first series but then made it longer so it wasn't like 10 words, it was literally just however. And I just did the Harry Potter video but for Doctor Who, so I was like, right, I'm going to do that. And then at the time, I enjoyed making that one more than the second one because I wasn't involved in the Doctor Who community at all.
Sure.
I didn't have my Love and Monsters Stan account.
Great account, by the way.
Yeah, I didn't have that yet, so I was making it. I was just like vibing, and it was only when it was almost done that I was just like, oh, I need like Doctor Who fans. If Doctor Who fans need to see this. I don't know any Doctor Who fans, so I started like integrating myself into the Twitter thing, and then I found it slightly highly addictive because lots of people were sort of interacting with me all at once and be like, cool edit, bro, on like my Photoshop. So I was like, So I was just like, and then I released it, and obviously it did the best I'd ever done in anything like that, really. And like all the feedback, I was like, oh, brilliant. But then I sort of had like this sort of reminder of what happened when I made poorly animated Harry Potter 2, where it didn't do as well. So I kept putting it off for like weeks, and after that I sort of entered a bit of a depression because I was just like, oh, it's never gonna live up to it. So then I had my depression, and I always have these bouts of creative burnout and depression where I don't quite know what to do, and then I always have like a night where I go Walter White again, and I'm like, I know what must be done. And I was just like envisioning series 2 in my head. I'm gonna have this. Yeah. I'm gonna have a Doomsday Rap. There's gonna be a musical. I was just like, Keith Lemon's gonna be Mickey Smith. It's gonna be brilliant. And then like I was telling my my partner at the time, I was just like, oh, I'm going to change the world with this. And they're like, you need to go to bed because it's happening again, because you always do this. You wake up in the morning and you feel stupid. I was like, no, this is it. And then so I started making it. I started making it for like 3 months or something. And the first week I was like, this is the worst decision I've ever made, because like it was taking so long just to like do one little aspect of it. And it wasn't that it was like, it wasn't that I was not doing anything. I was working like 6 hours a day on it. It's just that fuck all was happening. And I was just like, how's this happening? And then on top of that, I was getting all these comments of them asking when the next series was coming out. And I was just like, oh, I don't know. And it was just really stressful.
Yeah. No, I remember I saw on your, I think it was on your Love and Monsters Stan account. I think you said, was it for series 2, it was like 700 hours you put into it or something like that? But yeah, so did it really take that long then, do you reckon? Like hundreds of hours to put it all together?
About 700 hours, yeah, and I was putting it in because it was awful. I'll probably do it again though. It was good afterwards. It's good. It's a good feeling now because I'm like, yeah, I bloody well did it. I did it and stuff. But yeah, because originally the vision was much bigger than what it ended up. The Love and Monsters musical was going to be in it, but but I wanted to release something early just to so people weren't be like, oh, he's dead or something like that. I was like, no, I'm still here, I'm making it. Look, here's Love and Monsters. And so when I released the Love and Monsters musical on my own, I got loads of comments of people being disappointed that I wasn't making series 2, and I didn't know how to tell them that this was series. This was part of it. Yeah. This was like, this is a teaser, like. And I was getting annoyed and I was getting wound up because people were like, cool video, but where's series 2? And it's like, fucking up yours. I can't stand it. Doing my head in. But then, yeah, because a poorly animated Sarah Jane Adventures series 1 was supposed to be in this, in series 2, but then I changed my mind because I thought that was ridiculous because that was too much work.
So after you did series 1 then, like I say, it did so well, like, you know, better than you maybe could have expected and stuff with like the reaction and the feedback. So what was it, I guess, a sort of pressure that made you make series 2, or were you always like, oh no, I'm definitely going to do series 2 regardless?
Yeah, because I liked the attention that the first one got. I'd have a little bit of a slut for attention at times, and I was just like, oh, well, if you think that's good, you should check out the second one. And then so it was more so pressure that I put on myself, but also pressure from other people because they were obviously really so no fault of theirs. Well, it is their fault. They shouldn't have some of them shouldn't have fucking told me to keep doing it. I fucking told them, right? Yeah. And like, I was like, hold on, it'll be out when it's out. And then they were just like I was getting messages on Twitter of people being like, yeah, but when is it actually out? And I was just like, I don't know. I don't know. And like, and another thing that sort of not freaked me out, I don't know how to it was a weird thing, is that because it was so quotable, because the first one was so quotable, I had people like quoting it to me when I was in Discord calls and like people just quoting it in conversation, and for the most part I couldn't even remember what I'd said, and like so I was just like, I didn't know how to react, so I was in this situation where people were saying these quite frankly disgusting things at me, and I was just like, what have I done to deserve that? What Shag City? I don't know what that is.
That's like the iconic one, isn't it? Do you want to take a trip to Shag City? Like,
and like another one was the £5, and everyone was asking if they could borrow £5, and I was like, what is all this? Why? I'm not a bank. What is that? And I was like, oh, it's from the thing. So I was getting really anxious because I thought that I owed like money to like the mafia or something. I was like, what have I done? What have I done?
The Doctor Who Twitter mafia, vicious bunch.
Oh god. But some of them are fucking.
No, go on. Sorry, you go.
They are the Doctor Who fandom. It is stressful to sort of appease them. I understand. I don't understand how Chris Chibnall is still alive, because if I was under the same pressure as him, I would have like walked onto a railway track. So fair play to my boy Chris.
I mean, no wonder he hasn't done like many like interviews and stuff, because he probably wants to stay away. We've all scared him off. But With the poorly animated, I think I know in the second one for definite. I think I saw that you wrote a script for that. But did you write a script for series 1 as well?
Yeah, they were all. Yeah. The first one was scripted. It's just that I didn't. It wasn't as tight, and I allowed more room for improvisation.
Yeah.
Especially the improvisation bits come from when I've created. I've done it all essentially, and then I realised that some of the jokes are too edgy or a little bit like tasteless and stuff. So I was like, it's people think it's the dark videos with like the jokes and stuff, where they're quite tame to what were in them, and you can still see some remnants because the mouth doesn't match up in some places and the audio sounds differently, and it's because at last minute I've gone right, I need to, and I can't talk about that, so I improvise some stuff, and sometimes it's like the lines that people really like as well, so because I don't mean to make it as I'm not trying to be like edgy or anything with like the topics and stuff. It's just I'm a very I get bored of the sort of mundane and boring. I get bored of boring stuff. So
no, I think you pushed the boat out pretty well in terms of like getting jokes that still like some of them make you go like but not in the sense of, you know, oh, that's like a really tasteless or like a really. Do you know what I mean? It's not for me at least, it's not crossed over into, like, I mean, in series 2, how you handled the whole Mickey Smith thing, I thought was brilliant. Because, of course, like, when obviously the Keith Lemon character pops up and says, oh, I'm Mickey Smith, I was like, what's going on? And then, obviously, it clicked in my head.
Yeah.
But I think I think that was better for it. Like, it made it funnier, rather than you just, like, not acknowledging it full stop, I guess. So.
Yeah. Like, because when the whole, like, yeah, the whole. It wasn't I think it was originally going to be Tom Holland that was going to take the role. It was going to be Tom Holland, but then I was just like, I thought even though Tom Holland's British, I thought it'd be much more British if like it was Keith Lemon, or if it was like someone who the public doesn't quite like, or he's a very sort of. So it's almost like I found it funny to make Keith Lemon the lesser of two evils. That's like a situation we shouldn't be in, which I thought was funny. Because towards the end you quite like him, and I think it's Keith Lemon's best role is in my video.
I'll tell you what, it was better than I've never walked out of a cinema, and the only time I came close was with Keith Lemon the movie. Do you remember that cesspit? And the thing is, I'd never even watched Celebrity Juice. My mate was like a big Celebrity Juice fan and was like, oh, come and see Keith Lemon the movie. Now, I trusted him because he'd done the same thing with me with The In-Betweeners, because I'd never seen the TV show, but he was like, oh, come watch the movie. And I loved it at the time, you know, I was 15. The In-Betweeners movie is like the perfect 15-year-old movie ever, really. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I'll come see Keith Lemon. Oh, it was... I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's dire.
I've seen the first 20 minutes. Maybe the first 12 minutes, and I was like, it was because I'd just come off watching the Harry Hill movie, right? And I was like, and it's my favourite film.
Is it?
To all the people watching, if you go watch the Harry Hill movie, it's fucking brilliant, right? And you'll understand why I'm the way I am. Me and my friend once watched the Harry Hill movie 8 times in a row in one day, and it was the best, and it changed my life. I think it made me mentally ill, but it changed my life.
Oh my god!
And then I was just like, because it is really good, it's funny, it's stupid. Like there's loads of like stupid songs. It's like a musical, and I was like, oh, that surprised me. That was fucking brilliant.
It's all making sense now.
Yeah, the Keith Lemon movie has to be just like this. And then I watched it, and I was like, forget it. But recently, I like Lee Francis. I think I think he's a reasonably. Not everything he does I appreciate or like, but I do like him as a comedian. I like some of the stuff he does.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it sounds like the obvious thing to say, but it's true. And I guess comedy is just subjective, isn't it? Some tastes are gonna like. I mean, have you had any comments on? As I say, like it's mostly been like the praise and positive and good feedback. But have you ever had people who are like, I don't get this, or like I don't vibe with it, sort of thing?
Yeah, a lot of people, I feel like, because my style of comedy is very sort of out there in terms of you either get it or you don't, and if you get it, you really like it. If you don't get it, you think I'm ill, you think I'm disturbed, and you're worried, and you're scared. But I like that. Well, I say that. Sometimes it makes me fear for my life. I'm like, oh, God, everyone hates me. Oh, God.
No.
But, like, yeah, I've had a couple of comments where people just like, this isn't... And people think that, like, people are like, oh, I don't get this isn't funny, I don't understand why everyone's praising this or why it's got so many likes. And then sort of every so often those kind of comments sort of not get to me, because most of the time I'm just like, oh, fuck off, you're wrong, or whatever. Yeah. But then, like, sometimes when I'm really feeling low, I'm just like, they're right. And I was like, oh, it's a conspiracy, everyone's out to get me. And it sort of feeds into the paranoia aspects of my various mental illnesses.
Is it also sort of that thing, like, you know, they say on YouTube, like, you could have all the positive comments in the world, but all it can take is just that one, like, the one that you see, and that just, like, overshadows. Like, I've had that before, where someone's just been, like, whether they've been, like, taking the piss in a horrible way or, like, they mean it. Like, it's like you say, you can see all these, like, oh, I love this, it's great, but then you see that one, and then that's it then, innit? It's like system shutdown almost, but...
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the thing that annoys me the most is the dislikes, when people dislike them. Right. I prefer comments where they go, I don't like this, because then I've got, like, some kind of idea of the person, because I can see what their username is, and I go, oh no, they're just an idiot. Like, do you know, because they've got, like, they've got a stupid picture or something. Like, they've got the Joker as the picture. I go, oh no, they're an idiot. It doesn't matter. Exactly. But then with the likes, it'd be like, that could be my mum or something that's like, that's disliked that. That could be people close to me that say they like it, but they hate me. And so it's that sort of anonymous. I shouldn't have said that, because now everyone's going to start disliking stuff.
No,
fuck it, do it.
We've got a respectable audience here, don't worry. But in terms of the style, though, what your videos, I also, like you were saying about getting it, I feel I do get it, because I find them fucking hilarious, mate. Good job. But it reminded me, in a way, when I was younger, it reminded me of, did you ever watch the old, like, MLG parody videos?
Yes, I did, yeah.
Yeah, it's sort I guess, like, you know, the quick edits, like, lots of things going off, it kind of reminded me of that, but obviously, like, evolved in a way, because obviously in those MLG there was hardly, like, any script, if you like. It was literally just, oh look, it's the PNG of a bag of Doritos, like, playing on screen, and I'd sit there like, ha ha ha, that's hilarious. And that, like, so it's it feels like an evolution of that. I mean, like, did you have any, I guess, like, direct inspiration for the styles? Like, obviously you said the Harry Hill movie. Yeah. I did enjoy those kind of videos when I was younger, and I think that did sort of see how I edit. That's how because I wanted to, with my comedy, I wanted to make it a sort of a cross between internet humour, such as that, as well as sort of, like, if you could, I don't even want to call it highbrow, but, you know, like, actual conventional British comedy, sort of like something like a Peep Show or something, where it's like scripted wordplay, sort of stuff like that. But then you've got, so it's sort of like a mixed bag of stuff to sort of try, sort of like create a big array of comedicness. Yes. That's not a word. It is now. It is now. Yeah, or with a Doctor Who spin on it as well.
Yeah.
Well, one of the most popular things, I think, from the Series 2 video, I mean, you've released it as its own video, is the Doomsday rap. So with the songs then, not just the Doomsday Rap, but with any of the songs in these videos, like, when you make them, like, I take it you're the one, like, doing all the singing and the rapping and the arranging, like, how's that as a process? Because I imagine that, does it come to you, like, you know, the word wise, does it come to you straight away, or do you have to write out, like, several different versions, or do you know what I mean? Like, what's your process?
There's a lot with the songs, because I've been writing songs for a while now, since I've been doing YouTube. But, like, I used to write serious songs when I was younger, like little emo songs where I was just like,
we've all been there. We've all been there. So.
I'm still there. Still there. That's you're acting like that's the past me. No, that's still me. But, like, so I sort of had the groundworks of how to write a song and stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, recently I've become sort of like obsessed with words and how words work together and stuff, and how they sound, and how accent changes how words sound and stuff, and how some songs work in a certain accent and stuff. So with the songs, the Doomsday one's an exception, because that was a particularly hard one to make.
I bet,
because I don't know how to make music. The only instruments I know how to play is the ukulele here and the keyboard. And even with the keyboard, I don't know how to play it. I just know how to make the sounds go in the right order.
Yeah.
So, because my hands are stupid, they don't quite... That's why I can't play guitar, because they're too, like... I think I should go to the doctors. I've only just realised now. I think I might have something wrong with my hands. Yeah. Oh, because, like, my hands don't quite reach the keys that I want them to.
Right.
So I have to record a song. I've got to press record and literally press like one key or a couple of keys. Stop, do it, stop, do it. So if you listen closely in the songs with the keyboard, and you can hear like this like clicking in the background at random times, that's me pressing record because I don't know how to make it. So if anyone wants to come play piano for me in the other videos, feel free. It'll save me literally weeks. But with the Doomsday one as well, it had I sampled the drum from from the actual song, so I put it through Audition. I bought a plugin, so I spent money on this video.
Money.
I fucking spent money. So and then I removed all the other things, just had the drum. I think I sped it up and then sort of. Because I didn't want to do that originally. I had the idea for a Doomsday Rap, and I messaged a couple of people who were in the fandom who make music.
Yeah.
And I was just like, listen, for Poorly Animated Doctor Who Series 2, I want to make a Doomsday Rap where it's a remix of the Doomsday theme, but I'm going to rap over it as Rose Tyler. And would you be able to make that for me? And I can pay you, and I can obviously give you a credit. And everyone said no, and they thought I was mental. So I was like, oh God. So then I had to teach myself how to do it. So that's why it took so long, because I was like, right, I've got to teach myself how to make a remix of a song, and then I had to rap over it, and I can't rap anyway because my tongue's too big, so it gets stuck and caught, so I can't go fast. And then I had to rap with my Rose Tyler voice, which is sort of like a very like high pitch, like that sort of, and it sort of does my head in after a while. Yeah. So that was a really difficult song to make.
I think you pulled it off though, absolutely, because I mean it sounds tight as shit. Do you know what I mean? Like the flow's good, like the rhymes as well, and like the way you don't just do the conventional like, you know, here's a line and then second line has to rhyme. Like you change it up. Do you know what I mean? It's varied. It keeps it interesting. So I think honestly with Doomsday, I'd pat yourself on back for that one. That were a banger. There he goes, yeah. Money well spent.
I hurt myself doing that. But that was it, because it was going to be a toss up between doing a remix. That was it, because no one was doing it. I was like, well, I can't do a Doomsday Rap anymore because I don't know how to make music.
Yeah.
So then I was just like, the only instruments I know how to play, like I said, are those. So I need to make it with just them. So in my head, I was like, I'm gonna do a cover of Foundations by Kate Nash, and then I'm gonna do a parody of it. So it'll be about her fingertips like coming off that lever and stuff. Yeah. And then I had another Walter White moment. I was like, I'm gonna make it the bridge. I'm gonna do it myself. I'm gonna make that the bridge. And then when I was thinking, and I was like, the ending has to have something. The ending has to have something special, otherwise it's boring, because I get bored of stuff. So I was like, I'm just going to sing the lyrics to Famous Last Words by My Chemical Romance, because I'd already referenced them early on with the Sycorax. So it's like a nice callback, and it works, and it'd be funny, it'd be fitting, and it'd be funny. So I was just like, yeah, perfect. And then like I made it, and then I was messaging people going, I've made the greatest song of all time, and they were just like, fuck off, to be honest. And I was like, no, seriously, it's brilliant. And they were like, right, what is it then? And I told them, and they were like, fuck off. And I was like, right, okay. And then it came out, and then they came back to me and were like, you know, actually they didn't. I'm waiting for them to come back to me and say they were wrong. I think I deserve that at least.
I think you do. Come on, people, stop being so proud. Come back to him and say it were a banger, because it was, to be fair. It's got its own video. It's its own separate thing, so you should go and watch it. But I mean, I don't know what else to say apart from they're fucking great, mate. I love your Poorly Animated series. I love a lot of your work anyway. So whether you decide to, because I think you said you'll do next one if it gets 3,000 likes, right? And I think at the time of recording, you're about halfway there ish.
Yeah, I'll probably still. I just say that to get more likes than usual. Everyone's like, oh, we gotta get it. It's like,
we've all done it. We've all done it. It's a tried and true tactic.
I'm lying to you.
Don't worry. It's why when people critique people though for like, you know, clickbait, and it's like, look, like to some degree, like we all clickbait a little bit. Like it's fine. But well, Doctor Who in general. Then I always like to do this with guests who are fans of the show. How did you get into the show? Then were you like me? Were you a revival kid, or were you like? Did you get into it like a bit later on or a bit before?
I was I caught the second episode live. And that was the first one I watched. So back in like 2005 or whenever it was.
The one with the big blue head.
Big blue head.
Yeah, what's that alien? You know, end of the world. Isn't it? You know, the one in the chair.
Oh, the Moxa balloon.
That one, yeah, big blue head. Yeah.
Big blue head. Because I was thinking of the face of Bo when you said that. I was like, he's not blue, is he?
He's not blue.
I've not.
I'm just colourblind, clearly. No. I always think of Mox. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, because I think. It was like something like I was having a sulk. I was having a little bit of a paddy because I wasn't allowed to play Spyro on the PlayStation because I've been playing it all day.
Yeah.
So I went and had a little tantrum and sat on the couch, and it was just after tea time as well. So like the TV cycled onto it, and I was just like, "What's this? Who's?" And that was it because he was northern like me. So I was just like, "Who is this northern man?" Like, I was like, "Who is that?" And I was like, "Hang on," and I was just like, And then, like, I was just like, oh, and who is this very attractive older woman? But looking back now, she looks about 7. Like, she's so young in it. But, like, at that time, I was like, she's about 40. Because I was, like, 7 myself or something. But, so I watched that. But in my head, I thought it was the first episode. Because, at the beginning, before, like, the credits, he teaches her how to use the TARDIS.
He does,
and I was just like... And then, because I had a basic understanding. I've always had a basic understanding of narrative and media and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was just like, well, that's something you do in the first part of anything. So this is the first episode. So I watched it thinking that's how it started. Right. So I had no idea how she gets in the TARDIS. Hang on, no, I think they show a last time bit where it shows her running.
Oh, they might have done,
in my head. I was like, oh, that's what they show at the beginning of every episode. That's just like, that's the title sequence. That's like her origin story. Yeah. And I was like, makes sense. So I watched it all out. It was brilliant. And my mum came down. She was just like, you can't watch this. It's too scary. And I was like, Mum, look at this. And it was like Cassandra. And she was like, never mind. Carry on watching it. This is brilliant. And then she started watching it. So it became like a thing me and my mum and my sister used to watch together on Saturdays.
Nice.
And but so I never knew that Rose was an actual episode of Doctor Who.
Till years later or something.
Yeah, literally, because I went to the Blackpool Doctor Who Museum as well as like a little treat or something. Yeah. And then like I saw they had like autons, like the revived autons and stuff, and on a screen in that room in the display they were playing clips from Rose, and I saw Mickey Smith get eaten by Bin, and I was just like, hang on. I was like, I think I'd remember this. But then instead of going, oh, I've missed an episode, this is the first episode, I've missed an episode, in my fucking dumbass 7-year-old brain, I was like, this is series 2. This is series 2, and I'm one of the lucky people to see this early. So I went to school the next day, and I told everyone there that I'd been to the museum, and they were like, oh, what's it like? And I was like, it was brilliant. And I was like looking behind my shoulder, and I was like, I've only gone and seen bloody series 2, and I know
like the BBC men to come and like abduct
you. Yeah. And I was just like, and they're like, what happens? I was like, I can't tell you. And then they're like, oh, tell us. And then I was just like, right. And I was looking over my shoulder, and I was just like, do you know Mickey Smith? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, he only gets bloody eaten by Bin, doesn't he? And then it went silent. And then this guy called Harry was just like, again? And I was like, what do you know? Hang on, what do you mean again? And he was just like, that was in the first episode. I was like, Mickey Smith isn't in the end. And I was like, oh no.
Oh shit.
And then I realised, I think I went home ill that day, right? Because I was too embarrassed. So I pretended that I was ill. I was like, "Oh, miss, I need to go home," because they were all just like laughing at me, and then I was just like crying at them. I was like, "Where is it?" Looking through the. Obviously, you didn't have like iPlayer back then. I was like, "There's no way to get it," and I was like, "I can't afford it."
Oh,
so man. So I think I only watched it halfway through series 3. or maybe series 2, and at that point I didn't care, and I was like, that's all right. I was like, it's fine.
What a story there. Hey, people who say, "Oh, kids have it easy." Nah, man, we would get rinsed back in the day for shit like that. Like that was emotional trauma back then. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, my mate, he did a similar thing where he convinced me that A Bug's Life 2 was coming out, and he'd been convinced that he'd seen this trailer, and then he proceeded to describe to me. He's like, "Oh yeah, so you know the bird's nest where Hopper dies at the end." He's like, "Right, so it's a dark and stormy night, and a hand punches out of the nest, and Hopper climbs out, and he's going, 'Oh, I'm gonna kill you,' because I'm like 8. I was like, oh my god, like Bug's Life 2 never fucking happened, did it? So I still hold him to that. If you're listening, mate, I'm waiting 15 years later. But
Bug's Life 2.
Bug's Life 2.
Let's make it. I'll make it.
Yes,
animate it. Let's do it.
Poorly animated.
Bug's Life.
Yeah. Oh, that's my favourite though. To be fair, gotta love Bug's Life.
I did poorly animated Pixar actually. I did a Finding Nemo musical that was poorly animated, but I made the mistake of I made the mistake of making all of the fish out of human skin because I thought that would be funny. So I made all of the faces human, and then I took samples of the skin and I stretched it over them and wrapped it around like the thing. So if you watch it, like Ainsley Harriot's playing the shark, and it's just his face on like just this black shark, and people just like, why it was good and it's good, but why are they all made of human skin? And I was like, you're right, I shouldn't have done that. Yeah. I shouldn't. In my head, I was like, people will talk about this in the street. That's how great it'll be.
Did you see that Ainsley Harriot shark? That's what they'll be saying.
Yeah,
oh my God.
And they're all just made of skin, and I think some of them have hair as well. And then like my partner at the time saw it and was like, you can't release this, they're gonna lock you up. And I was just like, yeah, let them, it's art. But it turns out it wasn't, and they probably are coming for me. But, oh well.
Nah, don't worry. Art's all good, man. They're not coming to get you. Freedom of speech and art. But so on Doctor Who then. So you've always watched it then. Like you still stuck with it like through the Matt Smith era, Capaldi, through to Jodie, or did you have any like blip periods or?
There was blip periods, and it wasn't any fault to do with the show really. It was just like personal stuff, like my family issues, where I was like, sort of like just standard.
No, for sure.
Family stuff where you can't where I couldn't really watch it live anymore, so I had to watch it on catch up, and it wasn't quite the same. And that was through Peter Capaldi's first series and second series, so I didn't quite I wasn't quite gelling with it as much because it felt a little too different because of the way I was consuming it was different. So I was just like, but then like when I went to uni, I think series 10 came out. And then I was able to watch it live again. I was just like, yes. And I was proper vibing with Peter. And I was like, this is brilliant. And I was like, yeah. And then, so I like Jodie series purely because I get to watch it live now because I'm not in like a sort of weird environment and stuff.
That's valid.
So, like, I'm just grateful to be alive and watching Doctor Who. So, like, I get all these people where they're like, oh, Jodie shit. It's like, oh, yeah, but worse things have happened, haven't they? Like, come on.
That's a good vibe to take. Pretty much. There's a lot worse things that happen. Get a grip of yourselves. Come on. But at the course time we're recording this, sod's lot, I bet you any money by the time this comes out, it'll already be an answered question. But for the time being, when we're recording this, we still don't know who the next Doctor's going to be or the next showrunner. Do you have anyone in mind that you would want to see? You said,
it's me.
Oh,
both it's all animated. Series 14's poorly animated, right?
Yeah.
No. I've got a weird. I don't want to. I don't know whether to say because people will. Whatever I say, people will have a go at, and that's not a healthy environment to be in, right? So Doctor Who fandom, you need to sort your fucking shit out. It's embarrassing at this point that I can't say anything without some cunt having a go, right? But like, I think that the Doctor, I don't care if the Doctor's a man or a woman, but what I do care about, I really think it'd be good if the Doctor, and I've put this on Twitter and people think I'm joking, I'm not. I think that the Doctor and companion relationship should be of that of two siblings.
Okay.
So, and I think that they need to be comedic siblings, and I think that, do you know the people? I think Jamie. I can't even say the last names, but it's the people from Staff Let's Flats, Jamie Demoutru and Natasha Demoutru. I think either way, it don't matter. I just want a nice, bloody lovely sibling relationship. Like, and same with like the people from This Country. I think it'd be bloody good to see Daisy May Cooper as the Doctor, and the brother as the little companion. But as for the showrunner, I don't particularly care. Like, it's like, I don't care at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to see colours on a screen. Give me fucking anything and I'll watch it. I'm not the right person to ask.
Consume. Kane will consume the content.
I will watch, because if it's shit, I'll like it. If it's good, I'll like it. I don't care, because if it's shit, I can make fun of it. And so that's why I like Orphan 55. I think that's one of my favourite episodes of recent years, because it's so fucking weird and it doesn't make sense. And I'm just like, oh yeah, give me more of that. And I got on Twitter and everyone said it's the worst thing they've ever seen. I was like, oh no, I better not voice my opinion though.
I can't wait till you, like, if you ever decide to make like poorly animated on Jodie's era, because the field day that you're gonna have with that is gonna be like, I'm sure you're doing it as a joke and it's all in good take, but just knowing the two sides of like the Jodie, oh god, I'm already like fearful for you, and you haven't even made it yet. Like, it's just gonna be
that, with the way I'm going, it'll probably come out in about 12 years, and at that point, like, Jodie, everyone go, who's Jodie Whittaker? Like, at that point.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, I mean, yeah. Do you think though, like, her era's gonna get like a sort of reappraisal in years to come that others like like Sylvester McCoy did and some of the other do you know what I mean? Like, do you think this like heated opinion that's there now, or like the two sides of it? I said, basically, do you think things will cool down? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you think it'll ever like, cool off?
Yeah, I think it will cool down, because people will be too busy arguing about the next era. Because like, there's always going to be arguing about whichever era. So it was, people didn't like Peter Capaldi because he was an old man, and people are, he's the worst Doctor ever. But now they're like, oh, he's brilliant, I like him. But only because they hate women, and they're too busy attacking other sort of marginalised groups. Yeah. So to make Jodie Whittaker somewhat of a brilliant Doctor, you just need to cast a gay person next to it. So then all of the bigots will be like, I hate gay people, instead of hating on women. That's how you solve any form of hatred. Just sort of introduce a new form of hatred for people to latch onto. So I'm willing to, I will step up and be the fucking scapegoat of all hatred. Make me the next Doctor, and you can just make fun of me for being a bit autistic. Like, I will save all women, and I will stop all misogyny.
There you go. You've literally sussed where all these weird people come from. These people who comment online about Doctor Who can't be a woman. And it's like, okay, there's bigger, as you said, there's bigger things in the world to worry about.
Yeah, but, absolutely.
Well, to close off on Doctor Who then, one thing I do like to do with Doctor Who guests is ask them what I call the 3 ones, which is just three, you're basically picking 3 different stories, basically. So first one I call the one I love, which doesn't have to be your favourite Doctor Who story, but just that one story, like, you can go back to it, and whether it's like a wave of nostalgia, it's like a comfort episode, whatever it is, like, it's like, which one episode would you like constantly go back to, the one you love?
And people are gonna think I'm being very cliche, but I will say Love and Monsters. I will stand by it. I love that episode. Yeah. It's underrated. In the next couple of years, people will herald it as one of the greatest episodes of Doctor Who, because it not only is funny, but it also predicted where the fandom went in the next following years.
You're right as well. Shit, yeah. Could you imagine, like, all of, if we have, climate change happens, everything gets washed away, but the only Doctor Who to survive is Love and Monsters. That'll be...
People will love it.
It's going to happen.
God, this is brilliant.
It's going to happen.
I used to say it as a joke, but now, as I watch it more times, I think it is truly very underrated.
I think it's very
underappreciated.
Good. Really strong story.
Yeah.
Cool, right. Love and Monsters first one. Second one is called One and Done, which is basically the opposite. It's a story, you've watched it, and you're like, I'm probably not ever or rarely going to watch this again unless I have to. Yeah, just one do you know what I mean? Like a story you try and avoid where you can.
I reckon The Lazarus Experiment. I don't care for it.
No, you're not a fan?
No, not really.
Naked Mark Gatiss falling from the bell? No.
Oh, actually, you've changed my mind. It is brilliant. It is good, isn't it? Yeah. No, maybe not then. Maybe not. I think there's got to be maybe something in Capaldi's era. There's some episodes there which don't quite, like... No,
that's fair.
There's a lot of episodes that people proper love that I just really can't.
Can't be doing with
like
it,
Flatline. I don't find Flatline as entertaining as some people do. I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm just like, I don't quite get it. Maybe I've not got a high enough IQ to understand Flatline.
I hate that when people give that excuse, like, you don't like it, you don't understand it. It's like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, it's a sci-fi show about a guy travelling in a box. Like, what's not to understand? Like,
I tell you what episode I don't particularly care for is that it's that fucking what's it one where he's like vibing in the fucking Wild West. Town
Called Mercy.
Yeah, I don't particularly care for that. I don't know.
That's fair. I love that.
I get some bad vibes
in the Wild West.
Yeah, he's just. I was gonna say vibing in the desert, and then I'm just gonna get ripped apart because I just don't like a lot of episodes that people fucking like obsess over, like that Impossible Astronaut episode. I think it's because the Wedding of River Song isn't good. Finale.
The Wedding of River Song is many things. So
yeah. So I think that taints it for me personally because I know where it's going. I know where that plot's going. So I'm just like, oh, for fuck's sake, like. But it is cool when the astronaut comes out. But when you learn it's spoiler. It's River Song in that suit. It is, isn't it? Yeah. Because in my head, because I made that edit where it was James Corden. I was like, is it James Corden in that suit? Have I completely mixed up my... No. I've gaslit myself into thinking things happen in Doctor Who. Like, I believe that Space Pig's in it much more than he actually is. Like, because I've been saying it. I'm like, it's good when he's in the Pandorica Opens, isn't it?
Could you? Oh my god! Right, if you ever get to Series 5 of Poorly Animated, just in the background somewhere, just for the fuck of it, just put Space Pig, just for the fuck of it.
Space Pig's everywhere. He's going to be all in it. He's going to be the thing through the crack. That's like, Space Pig has escaped.
I can't wait for Series 5 now.
See, I'd say A Town Called Mercy.
Town Called Mercy, no problem. Cool. And the last one is called Back to Square One, which is just if you were say you got a mate who's never seen Doctor Who or is like, knows of it but has never really watched it, what one episode would you want to show to them? Or one story, I should say.
I was going to say The Impossible Planet Satan Pit, but just because I feel like that's a nice little...
Yeah.
There's a lot of sci-fi in there with the black hole and but then there's like all like the devil and stuff. That's pretty weird and scary. Then you got the Oods, so they're introduced to like quite a major race in the revival.
Yeah.
And it is just good. Like
it is a banger.
It is good. Maybe something like that.
Yeah.
It's not. Cool. I like it. It's a really strong episode. It's not my favourite, but I think my favourites, because my favourite story is Family of Blood. But I don't think you can watch that without really knowing what the Doctor's like at all the other times.
Bit of context. Yeah.
Yeah. You need a good series with him to be like to really understand it and stuff.
Yeah. Imagine if you chose Love and Monsters and this one's like, is the show always like this? It's just like,
yeah, I know that's the worst one, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's why I don't quite get why people say Blink.
Yeah.
As them.
Yeah.
Because I think it doesn't quite. That's why I'm also hesitant to say Satan's Pit, because I feel like the devil and stuff is a bit of mythos that doesn't quite creep up as often.
I suppose so. Yeah.
So people might be like, it's all about religion. It's all about the devil. But maybe
yeah. I just like hearing different, because every time I've done this so far, everyone's given a different answer to each of those three. So I just find it dead interesting to see what different people class for different things. So. Yeah, thank you.
Mine's just made me look like an idiot.
No, don't be daft.
I really like Love and Monsters and I hate all the others.
Don't be daft. Love and Monsters, great. So I like it as well. I just think I didn't like it as a kid because let's face it, when you're like 9 or 10, I watch Doctor Who because I want to see Doctor Who, and then you're telling 10-year-old me, wait, Doctor Who's hardly in this story. Oh, it's awful. But now, as an adult, I'm like, yeah, it's actually really fucking good. So
yeah.
Yeah,
I think I was also a little bit annoyed that I didn't win the Blue Peter contest.
Oh,
to design.
yes,
So I was just like, I went in wanting to hate it. I was like, I'm gonna fucking hate the Absorbable off, and I think I did. And I was just like, Peter Kay, you're an idiot. Why have you done that? I was like,
God.
you should, because I'm not accusing the BBC of anything, but I've got a slight feeling that they might have stolen my idea and used it for series 3. Because I'm pretty sure that the drawing I made, even though it wasn't supposed to look like it, the drawing ended up looking like the Lazarus experiment creature.
Oh shit!
Because I made like a scorpion. Like it was like a scorpion. Admittedly, I ripped off the Scorpion King from The Mummy. Like it looked like Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I was like, because I just see that. I was like, that'd be good if he was in Doctor Who. So I drew that, and then but I think I added like I did like an elephant tusk on it and stuff.
Nice.
So I sent that in series 3. I was like, where's my money? I deserve money for this.
Hey, do you know what? Now that you need to find that drawing, man. If it's still around, you need to get that.
I bloody sent. I don't have it. I sent it in.
Oh, they've got it. Yeah, shit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They've got I need to break into the offices. They've probably framed it or something. I need to. Someone find me the concept art for for the Lazarus monster. Guarantee it's got my fucking initials at the bottom and it's written in fucking marker pen.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. I didn't enter that competition for some reason. I don't know why, but I remember it being such a big deal. They should. They should do it again. The last time they did it, I think, was for. For like Vastra, Jenny and Strax, it was like make gadgets for them for deep breath.
Really?
That appear on screen for like 3 seconds. Yeah, because Strax's is, in Deep Breath when he's like scanning Clara with that thing.
Yeah,
that was his gadget that won, and I can't remember what the other two were, but they all had like gadgets, and I was like, yeah, that I was like, it's cool, but it's not a monster in an episode, is it? It's not.
Absolutely.
Completely
it's
different.
Not Peter Kay's not dressing up as that scanner, so why do I care? Maybe Peter Kay is that thing that Strax is holding, and I'll watch it, or I'll enter.
Peter Kay as a Sontaran for season 13. Make it happen, please. Could you imagine if he did? That'd be so fun. Sometimes just bring back.
Tastes like chicken. Tastes like victory. That'll be the catchphrase.
Yes. Again, another poorly animated Who series 4. When you do this on Taran, just make them all Peter Kay. Just make them all sound like Peter Kay. Oh, wonderful, mate. Well, we'll start to wrap it up. I mean, Kane, mate, you've been a fab guest. I hope you've enjoyed it. I don't think I've ever laughed so much in one of these.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, it's a pleasure. Before we round off, though, I hope you don't mind me asking. So, do you do stand-up still then? You do stand-up comedy?
Nah. No? Because of COVID and stuff. I'm too scared to go outside now. COVID's fucking ruined me. I'm going to clubs in terms of nightclubs again to sort of get myself used to nightlife and that sort of culture. Because at the moment, the very thought of going to into Manchester and doing stand up terrifies me. Even though I want to do it and I've written some stuff. I don't do well with people, so
sure, yeah. No, that's
so
fair.
I don't know. Maybe just stick to the YouTube for a bit, so I don't have to deal with anyone.
Whatever you do decide, I wish you every success with it. I'm sure you'll like.
Thank
YouTube's been smashing it, so I'm sure if you work up to stand up again, you'll smash that as well. So good on you. Well, before you go, then, if you want to. In terms of like future, can you tease any like future projects or what's coming, or is it all strictly under wraps?
No, there's some. I may as well. No, because no one's gonna steal them at this point. I feel like if I say I'm doing it now, if someone fucking tries it, you'll be hearing from me.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing any live action stuff anymore. It's all gonna be animated, but they're gonna still be the style of the live action that I used to do. But I'm gonna be animated, so you won't be seeing any of the set anymore. It's all gonna be poorly animated and stuff, just because then it allows me to be in multiple different locations and stuff. It's very freeing. So I'm for the next month or two, I'm going to be making some sort of sketches and sort of poorly animated sketches. They're not going to be parodies of anything really. Just because I want to sort of I want to have sort of like a mental cleanse from Doctor Who.
That's valid.
And also I want to sort of get better at animating, so if I just do that more, then so by the time the series 3 one comes out, then it'll be fucking much better and stuff.
Man.
But also in November, Paul the Animated Sarah Jane Adventures is series 1's coming out. in November, and that's going to be sort of much shorter. It's not going to be as long. I'm still going to put effort into it. I'm not just going to make any old shit.
Yeah.
But it's going to be shorter, like about 6 to 7 minutes and stuff.
Sure.
Essentially just setting up jokes for Journey's End, really, setting up stuff for the crossover. Yeah. And likewise with Torchwood Series 1. But I've had an idea which I think I'm actually going to do, because I don't want it to be as samey as the other stuff, because I think people get bored. So it's still going to be short, like 6 to 7 minutes, but I'm going to completely change the style of it in that it's all going to be a mockumentary, and it's all going to be series 1 but followed by a camera crew. So
I like that.
So the characters are going to have like talking heads and talk about what's happening with the cyber woman and stuff. So it's going to be it's going to be like reminiscent of something like The Office.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like a workplace mockumentary, but based in Torchwood in Wales. And just see if that works. It might not. If not, I won't fucking do it again. But I think it will. It seems like a good idea.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm gonna make some more. I've already started planning on some songs that I'm gonna make. That are different styles of songs, and then series 3 of Paul Animated Doctor Who, I'll probably start making it in December. I think that'll be enough, and then I think it'll take me less time this time, purely because I'm gonna get used to the animating software that I started using for this video, and stuff, and also I know how I'm just better at it now than I was about 3 months ago where I started.
For sure. Oh, ace! Lots of exciting things coming up. But if you want to do a social media shout out, like where can people find you on YouTube, Twitter, all that good stuff?
On YouTube, I'm Kane Unable, spelt like Kane Unable. I say that because my Twitter's not. My main Twitter is Kane Unable. It looks like Unable, but the I at the end's actually just the L at the end's a capital I, so it's like Kane Unabbey.
Oh, right.
Which,
okay.
so you won't find me if you just type in Kane Unable. It's very confusing, but some other dickhead stole my name. How dare he? But, yeah. And then on Doctor Who, I'm Monsters and Love. I'm Love and Monsters Stan account. I probably won't be using that account for a bit, purely because I don't know. I'm bored of. I'm seeing Doctor Who annoys me now because I've seen it too much. It's like eating too much bread.
That stage, isn't it?
Yeah. Where you eat too much bread all at once and you'd be sick. I'm currently being sick of it. But I'll come back soon. Cool. I'll take a couple of weeks off that.
No, that's valid. Well, as you heard it, folks, go and subscribe to Kane on YouTube. Go and check out his stuff. Go and follow him on Twitter. Keep up with his work, because it's cracking work. I know I've said it, but I really enjoy it, and I'm sure a lot of you guys listening who haven't seen it will enjoy it as well. So make sure you go over, subscribe, leave a like on his channel, and on this one, if you've enjoyed it, thanks. If you're on YouTube, leave a like. Leave your feedback in the comments. We'd love to hear it. And if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Music, etc., thank you for listening. Press follow, whatever the word is. It's all different. There should be one. It's really annoying. But do that. New episodes coming every week. And all that's left to be said is, K-Mate, thank you once again. It's been a blast.
You are welcome.
No problem. And for everyone listening, I'll see you next time.